Hello and welcome, Breakthrough Success listeners. I'm your host, Mark Guberti, and this is the podcast where you'll learn how to achieve the breakthroughs you've been looking for in your business and life. If you want to grow your content brand, you'll definitely want to add my latest book, Content Marketing Secrets, to your reading list. This book will teach you how to create, promote, and optimize your content for growth and revenue. You can get your copy at Mark Guberti, that is Mark with a C. So markguberti.com/book. And now, let's dive right into the show. For episode 93 of the Breakthrough Success podcast, we're going to talk about resyncing your life with our guest, Samir Becic. Samir is a world-renowned health and fitness expert. He is the founder of HealthFitnessRevolution Magazine and creator of the ReSyncFitness Method. Samir's work has been featured in many top media outlets, and he is famous for his strong motivational skills and energetic presence. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Samir to the show.
Thank you, Mark, and hi to all the listeners.
Samir, it is a pleasure to have you on the Breakthrough Success podcast. And before we get started, I'd love to get some backstory. So, what inspired you to write your book, Resync Your Life?
Actually, Mark, I was offered in the last 15 years from several top national publishers different book proposals. I refused them all because I felt that I didn't have a freedom to express my thinking when it's come to health and fitness philosophy in the past. And now with the new publisher, Thomas Nelson HarperCollins publisher, I got that opportunity, and that's why I took it. But the reason I wrote the book is because I wanted to approach 80% Americans who don't work out with this book, and at the same time to approach 20% Americans who work out sometimes to even get better. I believe that America is one of the greatest countries in the world in many, many aspects, from the financial standpoint of view to military strength, from freedom and democracy, unmatched probably by any nation in the world. But in one thing we were lacking, and that was healthy lifestyle, that was obesity numbers, and the number of overweight Americans that we have right now. We were leading in that aspect also the world, and that was not the most positive aspect to lead the world in. So I was so motivated by the idea that this country is great, and let's make it great also when it's come to healthy lifestyle. And that's the ultimate motivation behind the book.
Samir, thank you for sharing that backstory of why you wrote the book, Resync Your Life. And when I hear that statistic about how only 20% of people do some working out, one of the immediate reasons I think of for why people are not working out very often is a lack of time. So how can we find the time to resync our lives and get those workouts in?
Actually, Mark, time is the number one excuse when it's come to healthy lifestyle. And yet the healthy lifestyle only requires almost insignificant amount of time throughout the day. Even if you work out 2-3 minutes, 4-5 times a day, will keep your body in a decent shape. So the time is not the problem which we have. The problem that we have is motivation, number one, 2, knowledge, and 3, people are becoming too comfortable. It's easy to watch TV. It's easy to be comfortable. We have so much accessible to us in this country, that it creates us to a certain extent lazy. So yes, we are to a certain extent lazy, but at the same time, obesity is an illness. When you come to the point that you're already obese, then it's extremely difficult, not only from the physical standpoint of view to work out, but also from the mental. So I wouldn't use time as excuse to so that America is not working out. I will mostly focus on depression through overweight personality.
Samir, thank you for sharing with us how we can address resyncing our lives. And obviously lack of time is a big excuse for anything, but even those 2 to 3 minutes repeated in a day, those could really make a big difference. As you said, and I mean, like 2 to 3 minutes, that's like waiting for a train or waiting for the day to start, like just even waking up. I mean, there's so many ways that 2 to 3 minutes enter our day and we're missing out on those opportunities. And you hit it on the head. People aren't motivated enough to do the exercise, or they feel too comfortable. So what do you think is going to inspire the person on the couch to get up and get started?
Let me ask you something, Mark. How old are you?
19.
Okay, you're 19 years old. You're 19 years old. And from that perspective, being 19, how many of your peers have podcasts? How many of your peers are so successful like you are?
Not many that I know personally.
So what makes you different than your peers who are 19 years old?
The way I use my time, mind, also values, stuff like that.
So you're not lazy. You're hardworking young man.
Yes.
Okay. And that dedication that you put into it gave you the success you have. The same thing with the human body. You have to put effort. You have to put certain time to dedicate towards healthy lifestyle. It's same like your career. It just doesn't take that much to make a healthy body as it take as much to build your career. You know, you don't need to go to school for, 5 years in college later, 2 years for your master's program, and then maybe 3 years later for a PhD in order to be healthy and fit. It requires 15, 20, 30 minutes a day in order to maintain your healthy habit. And that's my thing. People have a wrong understanding of healthy lifestyle. They think healthy lifestyle requires hard work every single day, 4 hours, being on diet all day long, and that's not the case. It requires little time, and you don't need to be a Socrates. You don't need to be a Archimedes. You don't need to be a Plato in order to have a healthy lifestyle. It requires a little time on a regular basis to focus on your health. The most important thing that you have. Mark, you're now 19 years old, and you don't think you will ever get old. But when you get older, when you get 50, 60, and 70, every single workout you put in will come and pay off twice when you're 50, 60, and 70. And many people right now in America are already in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they never worked out. And with this book, I'm trying to motivate and tell them it is never too late. Human body is very forgiving, but it requires effort. It requires discipline, a focus. It requires that you get out of your comfort zone. Put some time in. Put some effort in.
Samir, thank you for sharing those insights on what's going to get that person off the couch. And it's definitely, I definitely believe people view it as it takes a lot of time to be healthy. And that's definitely a mistake I feel a lot of people make. So one of the things about your book is that it lays out how it can get strong, lean, healthy, smart, and spiritual within 28 days. And I'm wondering, how do you go about accomplishing those goals in 28 days? It doesn't seem like a lot of time to accomplish those feats. So how would you recommend doing that in 28 days?
But if I tell you I can change your life upside down in 28 days, I'll be lying to you, Mark. That will be not a true statement. The name of the book is Resync Your Life. In 28 days, it's enough time to resync, to put yourself on the right path, to really put yourself on a path of success. And that's what is 28 days, to resync your life so you can actually start living the healthy lifestyle. And healthy lifestyle is more than just working out. It's more than just eating healthy. Healthy lifestyle also requires social, psychological, and spiritual balance. Now, when you, Mark, when you go with your friends and have a great time, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good about it.
So having a good social life, having a balanced social life makes you feel good, does it?
Yes.
Great. And then mental balance. Sometimes you just feel tired. You just want to be alone. You feel even tired being around your own parents because you need some time for yourself. You need to resync. You need to find your peace, correct? Even with 19, you still need to have some time for yourself. Do you sometimes go to your room, close the door, and just listen to music?
Yeah, the world moves fast for all of us. Gotta pause every once in a while.
Okay, so how do you feel when you have some time for yourself?
A little more calm, sometimes more control, but more of the calm part.
So you're more calm, you're more mentally balanced, you're more psychologically balanced. By being more psychologically balanced, by being more mentally balanced, you can accomplish your task better. Then you can have a great conversation with your parents, with your sister, with your friends, with your teachers, because you're more calmer. If you don't have that aspect of having your time for yourself, you will start being more stressed. And through that, everybody around you will be more stressed. So the time that you find for yourself, the time that you have for yourself is not only helping you find your balance, it also helps people around you to be more calmer. So doing the double duty, one for yourself and one people around you. When you're more calmer and when you're more focused on your friends, then you have a better time with them because they'll respect that. So that indirectly impacts your social interaction. So gives you the social pleasure and gives you the social balance. So do you see how all those two things are connected together?
Definitely. I mean, stress attracts stress, calm attracts calm.
I agree. Now, when you exercise, you build your body. When you eat better, you're allowing your body to function properly, and you're allowing your body, while you're exercising, to use storage fat as a source. And through that, you're looking leaner, you're losing body fat, you're increasing your muscle mass. Now, those two things working out together as well. Am I right?
Yes.
Have you ever worked out? Have you ever worked out and then went and ate something very healthy? Didn't you feel good, Mark, about yourself?
Definitely.
And thousands of people out there that are listening to us right now, they'll probably tell you the same thing. Now you have a mental, psychological, you have a spiritual, then you have a physical from both sides, from the physical aspect by working out and from the physical aspect by bringing healthy food to your body. You have 4 aspects. Now, what is the number 5? Number 5 will be the spiritual aspect of that. And whatever that means for you. Mark, what is spirituality for you, if I may ask you on a personal level? If you don't want to share that with us, I completely understand. Spiritual can be anything. Spirituality is the belief in higher power that makes you calm, wherever that may be for the certain person. If a person is a Christian, then is Christianity. If a person is a Jewish, then Judaism. If somebody is a Hindu, it's Hinduism. And somebody has their own form of spirituality, that's what calms them down. And that's what I also talk about it. That's the spiritual balance connects all those other 4 components together and builds into 5 components, 5 aspects of health. And when you have those 5 aspects of health, you will be stronger mentally and physically. You'll be fitter. You'll have more energy. You will sleep better. You will have a better life. You'll accomplish more goals in your career. You'll be just the best version of you that you can possibly be. Your DNA will be expressed in the best possible light. You'll be Mark Hugh on the best day. Does it make sense?
Yes, and I love how spirituality connects all of them. And to clarify, mine is I love having a sense of peace of mind. That's my version of spirituality, and I definitely have the higher power who I look to, but that peace of mind also being something very important for me. And life definitely moves at a very fast pace. And I'm wondering, as life continues to move at this fast pace, how can we continue to stay resynced in this fast-paced world?
In the 21st century, when everything is moving very fast, 21st century is a time where we had to adapt that so fast that the humanity has never had a need to adapt as fast as we have it right now. And don't forget, being adaptable is the way how you survive. Being adaptable and still not lose yourself is the way how you survive and still don't lose the essence of life. That means enjoyment and what actually makes you human body, humanity, period. So the key is balance. For example, this weekend, I was on a ranch that I did digital detox. That means I was not in front of a computer or cell phone or any kind of digital machines for 48 hours. And when I came back to Houston, I felt so good, Mark. And that's the way how I cope with a fast-paced society. So I'm adapting. Monday to Friday, I'm really focused on trying to do business. I'm trying to, promote my book, promote healthy lifestyle in America, promote healthy lifestyle in the world. Actually, Mark, believe it or not, I'm more known in Europe than I am in the United States, even if I live in the United States. And that just tells you that certain areas of this world and our planet are more focused on healthy lifestyle than others. And therefore, I live in one of the fattest cities in America, and I am extremely, extremely motivated to make Houston one of the fattest, who is right now one of the fattest cities in America, to one of the fittest cities in America. Again, balance is the key, Mark.
And that is a very admirable goal of wanting to make Houston one of the fittest cities. And I feel like everyone should have that type of goal to achieve a more fit lifestyle. But different things hold back different people. Obviously, we've mentioned a few of those, like time, lack of motivation, comfort. But what do you believe holds most people back from reaching their full potential?
Self-esteem. Self-esteem is definitely key. When you work out, when you exercise, when you're eating proper, your body and mind is connected. Therefore, you have a stronger self-esteem. You have a stronger self-esteem also because you feel better about yourself. In a healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy spirit. So by increasing that self-esteem, it motivates you further to go further. That means at the beginning, it's very difficult to start working out. It's difficult to start learning something. If you want to finish the entire university in 1 month, it will be difficult, Mark. Did you finish school in a month? Did you finish your high school in a month? How long took you, Mark, to finish high school? And you seem to be a very smart young man. How long did you finish high school? How long did it take you? 4 years. Can you imagine right now if somebody told you that you have to finish high school in 3 months? What would you do?
That's not happening.
Difficult, extremely difficult. There's some kids actually that did that in 6 months or in 1 year. They finished the high school, but that's like a 1 in 1 billion. From that perspective, everybody in America, when it's come to January, starts losing weight, and everybody wants to lose in 2-3 months, New Year's resolution, weight that they accumulated in the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Do you think, Mark, that will work?
No, I don't think it would.
And why not?
Because, you're taking something that has been going on for years and years and years, and you're trying to cut it all off in a few months.
And that is correct. And that's what majority of Americans do. 80 to 90% Americans who start New Year's resolution after 8 to 12 weeks, they got hurt because they're trying in 3 months to reverse all the unhealthy lifestyle they had in the previous 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years. So are you familiar with Albert Einstein?
Yes.
Theory of insanity.
Yes, I understand. Insanity is if you expect to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result.
Yeah, if you're doing the same thing all over again and expecting different results. And that's what majority of Americans do on a yearly basis. They try to lose weight in January and 80 to 90% failure rate. And my question is, are we as Americans insane when it's come to healthy lifestyle? Are we really smart about our body and about our health? Do we teach our children the best way how to continue and how to learn and to continue to be healthy in an older age? Mark, did your parents ever took you to a sport classes? Did they ever took you swimming, biking, hiking? Were they active with you?
My mom is a nutritionist, so the healthy lifestyle was ingrained right there, and we did a lot of sports. So in terms of like the healthy lifestyle, I got a good family for that.
That is really amazing, Mark. You're one of the few kids and young men in America who actually have that luxury to have a parents who really care about health. Your mom and your dad, with that alone, gave you more money than you can possibly imagine, because the savings account, health savings account, is the most important savings account you can have. When you're healthy and fit, you are able to achieve your career goals, and you're able to accomplish them, and you're able to, for 15 to 20 years, to be more productive than people who don't work out and who don't have a healthy lifestyle. So from that perspective, continue and say, thank you, mom and dad. Bravo. You should be proud of them.
I definitely
Majority of American young men and women, children, period, don't have that luxury that their parents taught them how to be healthy and fit. If they did, right now, we would have much healthier society than we have. And I hope with my book, Rethink Your Life, I will be able to at least change one small part. And that's why I travel from one city to other. I appear on podcasts and TV interviews, on radio, print media, and television, try to motivate America to be healthy and fit. And you know what, Mark, with your experience as somebody who grew up with healthy lifestyle, you are great ambassadors. And I will encourage you right now to motivate people, not just today when you have this interview with me, but for months and years to come, and be one of the leaders in motivating Americans to be healthy and fitter.
As my mom is a nutritionist, that is something that, I've never thought of leading in that way, but it is something that I'll be happy to pursue. The thoughts swirling in my head, I don't want to pause the conversation and let people hear my thoughts, in a sense, like the silence of what I'm thinking. But I'd rather transition right now. So obviously you've been able to, I don't know if I want to say resync or you just always had a synced life, but you're at that level now where people want to achieve that level of fitness. But I'm wondering, what is one big challenge you faced in your journey and a powerful lesson you learned during that challenge?
The spiritual balance. It was the hardest part for me because I was always in sports. I decently ate healthy food throughout my life, and especially in the last 15 years, a very clean food intake, nutritional intake. And from that perspective, the spiritual balance was the hardest part for me because I always had a scientific mind, and I'm always focused on science. So that spiritual part, I always had great friends. I was always taking time for myself. I would exercise. I would meditate. I would eat healthy. But the spirituality part was always a challenge for me. And I think with the time, I found that spiritual balance. And through that, I believe I'm healthier because I'm more in balance with myself on every single level. So that was the part that I struggled with in the beginning. And then I had a chance. Are you familiar with Joel Osteen? Have you ever heard from Joel Osteen?
Very familiar.
Okay. I am the guy who developed the health and fitness program for his church, Lakewood Church. And it was difficult for me at the beginning to be able to, work with people who are really spiritually focused. And for them, also difficult to work with me because here am I, come as a fitness expert and try to make them healthy and fit. And they're in the church and they're telling me, hey, church is not the place where you can teach people how to be healthy and fit. And I said, I disagree with that. I believe that church can be a great place to teach people how to be healthy and fit, as also, of course, the number one spot is to be spiritually balanced. And that's the part of the health that that my philosophy intakes in the first place and is a part of. So considering that I was working with the largest church in America that has over 45,000 people coming every week to, and that Pastor Joel approaches 35 million people in America and the rest of the world with his weekly message, it was really a good opportunity to me, for me, to promote healthy lifestyle in a spiritual environment. And after that, Mark, my magazine, HealthFitnessRevolution, created a list of the fittest pastors and fittest churches. And for the last 4 or 5 years, we motivated over 1,000 churches in America to start fitness programs. And I'm really proud of that. So that was the spiritual part that I was missing. And working with those people, I actually realized, those people are very nice people. But they just didn't have enough knowledge and education when it's come to healthy lifestyle. And many of them were overweight. That's why especially the Christian community in America, it is one of the most overweight religious groups. Actually, it is the most overweight religious group in America, with average obesity rate of 36.5%. So by doing that, by motivating those churches across the country, actually made me feel good about myself, and I learned a lot from them as well. So that was my spiritual experience.
Samir, thank you for sharing that experience with us and how you were able to better integrate spirituality in the workouts and being able to interact with those types of people. And as we've mentioned, you wrote the book, Resync Your Life. And I'm wondering, with that in mind, if you could share with us 3 great book recommendations for being able to live that healthy and fit lifestyle.
You mean the 3 recommendations from my book?
Just 3 other books out there, because I ask all guests to share 3 books in addition to their own.
But my book, maybe not necessarily the books that you had in mind. I'll tell everybody I like the book Art of War.
Interesting choice.
Because it gives me a strategic understanding. It gives me a strategy, and that strategy you can apply anywhere, including the healthy lifestyle. I read lots of books. I read approximately 2 to 3 books a month. So it's hard for me to tell you exactly what will be the next book. But of course, my recommendation is read Resync Your Life. Not just because it is my book. It is because I took 50 different factors in consideration when I built that book to make it a perfect for America and the United States of America. So 50 factors in consideration in order to motivate America to be healthy and fit. And the third book, there's so many different books that I really like. What will be my third book as a recommendation? The School of Plato. The Plato. Book of Plato will be one of them. But let me give you something that people can buy on Amazon, that people actually can go and reach out to. Zero. It's a book, very interesting philosophical approach. And the name of the book is Zero. I guarantee you, if you read that book, the world, the universe where we live in will be much more clear to you. So again, Art of War, Zero, and Resync Your Life.
Samir, thank you for sharing with us those 3 great book recommendations. And before we get to the point where you can share with Breakthrough Success listeners all the places they can find you on the web, I'm going to flip the tables a little bit. So I've asked you several questions throughout this episode. You've asked me several questions as well, which is different from past interviews. But what is one question you believe we need to be asking ourselves more often?
Why are we not taking care of our health? One of the most important aspects of our lives. Why are we not teaching our children to be healthy and fit? Therefore, they can grow in a stronger male, female, with great perspective and great positive attributes in life. Why are we not motivating our neighbors who are not healthy and fit in order to create healthy and fitter neighborhoods, town, city, and society? That is my ultimate question. Because without health, you really don't have much.
Samir, I really love the idea behind those questions, because it's not an individual point where you're saying, how can I get healthier? But you're saying, how can I inspire my whole neighborhood, my whole community to get healthier? Because I truly believe the world is a better place when we're all healthier and we're all doing exercise, because exercise just has a really positive effect on our mind. So that is a really good thought to take home from this episode.
Mark, just for the end, just one more thing. My book also talks about brain. It talks how the brain interacts with exercise, and how much more and how better the brain functions while you're working out. How much more are you focused? How much more information you can retain, and so many different aspects. I don't want to tell you all the secrets of the book, otherwise people will not be able, will not have any need to buy the book. But from the perspective, brain is the strength, the the mental strength, the best expression of your IQ will happen through healthy lifestyle. Thank you, Mark. And the reason I always interact with people who ask me questions is also that I try to impact their lives as well. And I think dialogue is much better than monologue,
I definitely agree, because you don't want the conversation to take one side, and getting multiple sides definitely allows a lot more opinions to get out in the open.
Of course, people trust you, Mark. Those people listen to you on a daily, weekly basis. So if I ask you questions and you answer them properly, like you did every single one of them, you motivate those people who listen to you on a daily basis more than I can. So through you, I'm motivating them. Therefore, you did a great job, Mark. Thank you very much.
I never really thought about it that way, but it definitely makes a lot of sense. And thank you for sharing that insight with us, and for sharing all of your great insights throughout this episode. And for all the Breakthrough Success listeners wondering, where can we learn more about you and find you on the web?
Okay, SamirBecic.com, SamirBecic.com. You probably have a hard time understanding my strong Texas accent. That's why, because I'm from Germany, and I do have a strong accent. But again, my website, SamirBecic.com. HealthFitnessRevolution.com is the magazine. ReSyncFitness.com is another website, and also HealthFitnessRevolution.org. My book, Resync Your Life, is available worldwide. You can buy them Amazon, hard copy, soft copy, iBooks, audio, you name it. We have like 5 different varieties for my book to accommodate any kind of reader or listener, for that matter. And I hope you're going to buy the book. I hope you're going to buy the book and give that book to your friends, or buy the book for your friends for the holiday season. Because, Mark, I would not promote this book if I didn't believe with all my heart and soul that this book is answer to obesity in America and unhealthy lifestyle. Because I made the book that is very simplistic in its complexity, that goes in depth explaining different variations of healthy lifestyle, while it's being so simple that people with less formal education can understand it, and yet the Ivy League professor will still find it interesting to continue reading it. Therefore, I wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, great holidays, and thank you, Mark, for having me. And your listeners should be proud of you. You're a young man with great motivation, with great knowledge, with such a strong presence, even just over the audio. And for those couple of seconds that I saw you, you're doing a great job. Keep doing even better job in the future, and motivate your peers to be healthy and fit, and your listeners. And say, give your mom and dad a hug from me, because they did an amazing job with you.
Samir, thank you for the very kind words. I don't know where to start with thanking you, but for Breakthrough Success listeners, definitely don't forget to get your copy of Resync Your Life. That will be in the show notes at markguberti.com/E93. Samir, it was such a pleasure to have you on the Breakthrough Success podcast.
It was a pleasure to be with you, and let's get together again, in the near future.
Definitely.
You rock. Your listeners rock.
Breakthrough Success listeners, I need your help to keep this show running. I choose not to use sponsored ads in my episodes to provide you with a better experience. However, this decision gives me little money to pay for storage in my team, which comes over $1,000 per month. So please consider supporting the Breakthrough Success podcast on Patreon by heading over to patreon.com/markguberti. For as little as $1 per month, you can help Breakthrough Success stay running while taking advantage of exclusive content and other perks that come with being a patron. To help support Breakthrough Success, head over to patreon.com/markguberti or search for Breakthrough Success on Patreon. That way, I can maintain the Breakthrough Success podcast so it stays running and provide you with